James Clapper is the head of the NSA. He has a little bit of a problem. He'd been asked in front of Congress, hey, are you spying in on a lot of Americans? And tens of millions of Americans, hundreds of millions of Americans. And he said no. And it was a famous moment where he's scratching his head. And he's like, well, no, I wouldn't say that. Maybe inadvertently, but not really, right? And he has now acknowledged that that was, quote, clearly erroneous and, quote, the least untruthful statement he could make. Thereby admitting, yes, it was untruthful. It just happened to be the least untruthful thing I could say because I had intended to lie to you guys from the get-go. Now, that is perjury. It is a crime. Shockingly enough, the Obama administration has not done an international manhunt for James Clapper. So, well, public policy polling decided that they were going to ask a question about this. Now, understand the Progressive Change Campaign Committee and Credo are the ones who commissioned this poll. Now, they are progressive groups. So now they're not in favor of spying, but it's not like they're trying to take down the Obama administration either. So, and I was curious to see which way the liberal states would go and the conservative states would go because they polled 5 different states that are all within the spectrum, right? Well, and they asked this question. Edward Snowden revealed that Director of National Intelligence lied to Congress about whether the government was collecting millions of phone and internet records from ordinary Americans. The director has since admitted he did not tell the truth. Do you think the Director of National Intelligence should be prosecuted for perjury? Now that poll is obviously leading in a certain direction. You have to acknowledge that, right? Talking about how he lied and now he's acknowledged it. Now the reality is he did lie and he has acknowledged it. So what do you think? Should he be put away for perjury? Well, the voters of California that were polled said 54% said yes, he should be prosecuted for perjury. How about Hawaii? 58%. Iowa, which is a purple state, 65%. Texas, 68%. Kentucky, 69%. So liberals, moderates, and conservatives agree. James Clapper should be arrested and tried for perjury. Now, I wonder if the Obama administration is going to do that. I wonder if the Republicans in Congress, who are just as pro-establishment, just as pro-spying, are going to demand that Clapper be arrested, that the Russians not take him in, that the Bolivian president make sure that he's not on his plane. My guess is that establishment Republicans and Democrats aren't going to insist on any of that. Even though it is brazen, and he acknowledges that he committed that crime, that nobody will do a damn thing about it. Even though, as this poll indicates, and remember public policy polling came in #1 for most accurate poll in the 2012 elections. Even though majority of Americans, according to this poll, say yes, actually prosecute him for perjury. Now, for our politicians to actually listen to us, that would mean that we were living in a democracy. But as we all know, unfortunately, that is not the case. The government will protect itself. The powerful will go after the people who challenge them and never go after the people who are on their side. And we will not have any justice in this case. But at least now you know the American people do want that justice.